Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today what I have in store for you are 5 tips to manage either stress or anxiety as you're going through a PCS move. Now, it is not an easy thing to pack up your family, probably pets included, and move to another state. So if you all stay tuned, I will show you just how I handle that. So you guys, before I get into these 5 tips for you, what I would like to do is shine light on a website that I have recently found. It's called Feedspot. And what this website does is it takes all updates from either channels you're subscribed to, blogs that you follow, or even podcasts. And it gives you all that information congregated in one personalized space. What I'm going to do is leave a link down below in my description box, and I would love for you to check them out. And also, I would like to say thank you to Feedspot because recently they have chosen me as one of the top 20 military wife YouTube channels to follow. I really appreciate that, and I feel so honored. So without further ado, you guys, let's get into these tips. Okay, you guys, so I want to start off with why I chose to even do this topic. Like, it really wasn't on my heart or my mind until I posted my video last week of the vlog where my movers came, and the outcry, the pouring that I got in the comments was that, girl, you are so calm, like you are really zen, you are on top of things. And I felt so good to hear that. And the reason it felt so good to hear that was because my last PCS, you guys, and not even to mince words, was a complete crap show. Like, let me tell you, my emotions were everywhere. I was irritable constantly. And you guys, this is not a process of one day where the mover comes and packs you up. That's just one part of it. There is paperwork, there is travel, there is housing, there is getting to your duty station and then trying to set up home, enrolling your kids in school. It's such a process. And the last time I did it, it was not pretty, you guys. It was not pretty at all. So to hear that you all saw the calmness in me, oh my gosh, it just felt so good. So when I heard that, it was really on my heart that I cannot be the only one who's gone through a PCS in tears and in glasses of wine. I can't be the only one. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to come up here and I wanted to share how I got so zen, how I was able to manage, my PCS in a completely different light than I did last time. So what I'm gonna start with is tip number 1, you guys, which is, you do the best you can, but what it is prepare. And prepare as much as you can. You will never be able to always, be ready for the unknown, especially in the military. It's just not possible because even with this PCS, with COVID-19, it changed a lot of policies. So all you can do is prepare to the best of your abilities. For me, preparing on the home front meant I knew that I was going to be without my items for a long period of time, without, the regular comforts that we had, so I did things like, meal prep. You think that might not be something you're considering, in the middle of all these movers here, but you gotta eat. And no one has money to eat out on a consistent basis. I mean, at least I don't, there might be some officers that y'all got that kind of cash, but we are enlisted, and so we ain't got money like that. And so meal prep, try to, make a couple of lasagnas here or there if you can. If you have space or when you're traveling, maybe hold on to your crock pot, so you can cook throughout the day as you're doing other things, stuff like that. Just try to be prepared, even in the little things. I know, paper plates, things like that help you. They're disposable. Also, sometimes, what happened to me, they took all my dishes. So I got, what are those, baking dishes from the dollar store. You can probably use them twice. I definitely wouldn't suggest using them any more than that. But things that you could bake a lasagna in, or, throw some barbecue chicken in and broil it, things like that. So my first tip is to be prepared as much as possible. Try to anticipate being without. Try to understand that, schedules are not going to be the same. So try to prepare as best as you can. So that's tip number 1. So tip number 2, guys, what I would say is be flexible. And coming from my type A personality, it's easier said than done. I know it is. But there's so many situations that arise throughout a PCS that you have got to really try to roll with the punches. Now, our recent PCS is in the middle of all this COVID-19 situation, which means that even what normal Army policy was, we didn't even get those things. You know, like usually soldiers are allowed leave before they PCS. In this situation, my husband's PCS leave was denied. So he went from working to clearing. There was no time for him to get adjusted, get his mind around anything, for him to help me and on the home front or anything of that nature. So I had to be flexible. I had to understand that that just was not going to be the reality of this PCS. You have really got to allow yourself grace. Everything is going to be different. If you're accustomed to being, even in your relationship, if you guys are accustomed to always doing things together, that may not be the case. If you're the type of mama like me and like, you know, you're accustomed to cooking and, you know, you're not really big on eating out or, you know, frozen dinners, you're gonna have to get over it, and your kids are gonna have to be eating nuggets or corn dogs or whatever you can possibly have because you're gonna have so much going on. So you definitely have got to be flexible and try to roll with the punches. I have realized in my time around the Army, my time in the Army, and as an Army spouse, questioning their policy or the changes to it, it's not going to get you anywhere. You have really got to get in where you fit in. So that would be tip number 2. So tip number 3, I would say, is to continue self-care. It's not going to look the same as when, you know, you have your entire house together or when you're not, you know, in the process of moving, but try to squeeze that in there. Now, whatever you do for self-care, you know, keep that in mind and try to make sure you have access to it. You know, if you're the type of person that gets your nails done, if your budget allows you to, then go on and get your nails done, get a manicure. You know, for me, working out does it, you know, so I still make time to go for a run. I continue the things that you do to take care of yourself, whether it's read a book. You know, it's not going to look exactly the same, and you know, you're going to have to modify things that you do to take care of yourself, but definitely continue to do that. My 4th tip would be to talk it out. Like whatever stresses you're feeling or whatever anxiety you're having about what you're going through, talk it out, because the truth of the matter is this situation was most likely going to get a lot more messy and a lot more chaotic before it gets better. So talk about it. Even if there's nothing you can do about the problem, talk about how you're feeling, vent. I know a lot of times military spouses get backlash because they're quote unquote complaining or they're quote unquote ungrateful. You know, and that's not true. Like, this life is not a cakewalk. You know, it's a challenge. And though I know most of us, if not all of us, appreciate it, and we're definitely grateful for, you know, the lifestyle that the Army provides, the consistency, we're proud of our spouses. It's not easy. Like, it's okay to be like, yo, man, this is hard. It's okay to be like, oh my gosh, this exception of policy sucks. It really is a difficult situation that we're going through. So it's okay to vent. It's okay to get those feelings out, because when you're just like, okay, I don't have a right to be upset, or I don't have a right to feel frustrated, that's not true at all. You do have a right to your feelings. So I definitely say talk them out. You know, if you've got a really good, you know, military spouse that can relate to you, talk it out with them. You know, you and your spouse talk it out. Share those things so they're not all bottled up. And don't feel like you have to be superwoman. Don't feel like that you have to be, you know, Army strong, because you don't have to be. Like, you have a community that you can lean on. You have your spouse that is there for you, and it's no cakewalk for them either, let me tell you. So I would definitely say express yourself, talk it out, and try to regroup. So my last tip to try to, you know, deal with the anxiety and the stress of a PCS is, girl, get excited. Like, you're going to a new place, you're going to a new home. Whatever excites you about that, research it, look at it, you know, get excited. Whether you want to sightsee when you get there, whether it's, you know, some awesome shopping, you know, like, I'm excited because I have not been around an Aldi in 2 years. I'm telling you, when I hit Texas soil, I'm looking for an Aldi. Like, I love it. I love the cheap prices. I haven't had access to that. I'm excited. So get excited, be optimistic about where you're going and what's going to happen, and involve your children, involve your family. You know, there's always sightseeing or little places for families to go or things to do once you get there, you know, so definitely be optimistic, look forward to this new adventure, and that is definitely something that will assist you while you're stressing about a lot of this process that you're going through. But we got through it, and you'll get through it too. So until my next one,